let's talk about that Baba Ahmed talked about. Say, I will only run for president in 2027 if Obi, one other Southern leader, decline. That's Baba Ahmed. Now, let me read part of it, maybe one or two paragraphs. Former Labour Party vice presidential candidate Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed has revealed that he will only consider contesting the 2027 presidential election if Peter Obi and another unnamed Southern figure decide not to run. During an interview on Arise Television's primetime program on Tuesday, Baba Ahmed reiterated his unwavering loyalty to Obi and described him as a candidate he will continue to support. Barrister, I have my love and preference for Datti Baba Ahmed as a politician can never be overemphasized. If there's anything I cherish and I love I cherish about him, or in my life, something I really, that is very, very germane, that is the most important element in my relationship with anyone, is loyalty. Loyalty. This is something I don't joke with. This is because it is something I have in my veins. I can take a bullet for someone who earned my loyalty. So I expect the same thing, because every relationship is a two-way traffic. So loyalty is very, very important to me. I prefer loyalty than just mere love. Honestly, that loyalty. You may not love me, but loyalty. I may not love you, but I'm loyal. That is the way I live my life. So, and that is one thing I admire about Datti Baba Ahmed. One of the things I admire about him, loyalty. Under normal circumstances, every average politician, we know that we know politicians' antecedents. Where the moment election is done, the VP, the running mates, goes his own way, just goes apart and joins a different party, or joins a different movement, or joins a different ideology, and begins to think differently. Datti Baba Ahmed has been very consistent. I remember even during that election, after the election was won, in fact, I thought that his loyalty would be fractured or deflated after that 2023 election, especially when Peter Obi was going in a very soft way. If you notice during that, after the election, what's his name? Datti Baba Ahmed was more aggressive in criticizing the entire system. Someone that I even felt that if Datti Baba Ahmed were to be the front runner, then was the presidential candidate, I bet you, but someone like Datti Baba Ahmed would have done what I expected Peter Obi to do, call for mass protest. So now this Datti Baba Ahmed now is saying he cannot. Look, trust me, people must have for this question to even arise, for this topic to arise, people must have been selling that idea to him to actually split the both of them, bring further division in the party. You can see how loyal he is. Honestly, I just admire this guy. But do you see a possibility of a Datti Baba Ahmed contesting for the presidency should Peter Obi's political dynamics becomes obviously negative? That is, based on all we have talked about Peter Obi, the possibilities that he has, all the cards, the available cards that he has, if after playing all these cards and nothing comes out of it, do you see Datti Baba Ahmed becoming a presidential, running for the presidency? And if he does, what are his chances?
Well, Datti Ahmed is a very fine gentleman. And he has been with Obi and he's very loyal to Obi. But where this issue of him contesting for the presidency came is because he is not enthusiastic about the alliance.
Yeah.
He has said so himself.
Yeah.
He's not enthusiastic about the alliance. So people began to read meanings into it. That if he's not going with Obi into the alliance, maybe he wants to contest by himself. And then when he went to Labour Party, that thinking now escalated. People say, oh, that here is the truth. Where is the reason why we are saying he wants to contest by himself? That's why they started putting those issues to him. I think he is reading what most of us are reading. He does not want to see a situation where Obi will emerge as the vice presidential candidate in that alliance. He has said that if Obi should be the candidate of the alliance, he will support him. He has said so. But what he will not accept is Obi accepting to be vice presidential candidate, for example, to Atiku Abubakar.
Yeah.
So he saw that trajectory, that will possibly be the end result if they go full throttle into that alliance. So he has stepped back. Initial consultation, he was there, but he has stepped back from the alliance. Now, whether he will contest, one cannot rule that out. In 2027 or after that, one cannot rule that out. But his chances, particularly 2027, are virtually nil. Then 2031, for instance, when by the unwritten arrangement, power should return to the North. Remember, he is not one of those that the Northern establishment, or let me say, he's not part of the Northern establishment. Those conservative, reactionary, feudal Northern group that control Northern politics. He is outside of them. So whether he will have support in the North, he does not have that grassroots support in the North. That's the truth. So, but between now and 2031, a lot can change. Nobody can predict that things will remain as they are. So one cannot write him off as a credible presidential candidate in the future. But 2027, I do not see him contesting. Even if Obi and the other person he did not mention do not contest in 20, I do not see him coming out to contest.
All right.
Except this nominal candidature that people do. You collect the candidate of a party you know is not going anywhere, just so that you can also be a candidate. But you yourself know that you are not going anywhere. That is the nominal candidature we are talking about.
All right. I agree with you. Obviously he's not going to contest. But there's one thing I want to talk about, that Baba Ahmed. He has a very, very bright political future. I'm seeing in Datti Baba Ahmed that cloud that Buhari got from the North. Remember, Buhari was not, this northern political bloc, this northern elite, political elite you mentioned. Remember, they were not behind Buhari until Jonathan's regime, where everybody the entire northern bloc they just needed to oust Jonathan, good luck Jonathan. So they were the northern political bloc, that is northern political elite. They were anti-Buhari until they became pro-Buhari. I see that, but unfortunately, that of Buhari was it was a miss. Everybody has realized that it was a grave mistake, including the people the northern political elite who supported him. Now, but on that of Datti Baba Ahmed, I see a different scenario playing here. I see technically the same scenario that actually attracted support from the North to Buhari playing out in the case of Datti Baba Ahmed. Just like you said, it come 2031. I see that a scenario where the northern politician, the northern elite will now see that, look, this guy, just like they saw in Buhari, okay, this guy has the virtues. People, there is a public perception of this man hating corruption, public perception of this man that is on the side of the poor, there is this public perception of this man that going against the powers that be. The same thing will play out with Datti Baba Ahmed. I see such taking place. Buhari never had a political clout. He never had political goodwill prior to 2015. All the time he contested under APP, ACN, and CPC or whatever. He never had or whatever. There was no followership. So, okay, there was a relative followership, but not that much. But I see, you see, a Datti Baba Ahmed candidacy around 2031 will have an overwhelming support of the entire region. I see him as someone that will go even Buhari. Remember Buhari's case, he needed the Southwest. You needed a Tinubu to win the Southwest. That will be the difference between him and Datti Baba Ahmed. Datti Baba Ahmed, if the same scenario plays out, the same scenario that played out with Buhari plays out with Datti Baba Ahmed, his own chance will be broader, because Datti Baba Ahmed will have a support, organic support from the West, from the East, from the South. Unlike Buhari, that there was this religious thing that was a stigma that was in the head of the entire South against Buhari then. Datti Baba Ahmed, the reverse will be the case. So these are the things that the political players, the politicians will actually want to look at to use in favor of to support what's his name, Datti Baba Ahmed, at least anything around 2031 or above, because he's still a young man. Datti Baba Ahmed and I, we should be, we are age mates, not we should be. We are age mates, so he's still a young man. So he still have at least extra 10 years or 12 years to actually become that political bigwig. But at least I don't even expect it to reach that. I see the North actually coming to use Datti Baba Ahmed later. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. He's not going to contest. He's not doing that. But Datti Baba Ahmed is a very smart guy. He reads the handwriting on the wall, and I don't think he will do that.